Yeah, they're crazy. My ex-wife is Russian.
And I tell you something about that.
Yeah.
I gotta say thank you for sticking with bricks.
Oh!
You know what it is, your access will take me, Cassio De Nova. We're out here. Today, I got a legend. I have someone huge, unexpected, global superstar. I'm talking about, you've seen this guy, 51st Dates. You've seen this guy, Happy Gilmore. You've seen this guy all over. His friends are Chris Rock. This guy's an empire. I'm just messing with you. Chris Giacobbe, right?
Yes.
Well, did I pronounce that again right?
Actually, it's not bad. Yeah, I'm the Walmart version of Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's the way you get that a lot, right?
Oh yes. Actually, that is my closing for the show.
Cool. Yeah, I got what, first time in South Africa?
Yes, it is.
Is it, yeah?
It's not my first time in Africa. I lived 1 year in Cape Verde.
Cape Verde, yeah.
But it's my first time in South Africa and I'm loving it.
And you have is it a girlfriend or wife now?
So, I'm wearing the wedding ring because we live in Indonesia.
Right.
And Indonesia is a Muslim country.
Oh.
And we have a son and I work on TV. So in Indonesia, I have to say that we're married, otherwise I'll get in trouble.
All right.
But she's just a fiance. I'm actually here to get married with her.
Is it?
Well, first I need to go through the lobola.
I was gonna ask you if you know about Lobola.
Of course.
And I got to tell you something, just a warning, because you have a child with her already.
Yes, I have to pay damages. Yeah.
I know. I'm glad you know.
And I'm doing something super risky.
All right.
So this is my plan. We're gonna get married the 30th of December. In the morning, we're gonna do the lobola. In the afternoon, we're getting married.
I don't think you can do that. You gotta talk to the uncles.
Yeah, they said. Because then I cannot back off. They can ask me any price they want. I think that's the point.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you clued up and you know what's going on.
Yeah, and I want to do the things right. You know, I didn't want to elope. I want to respect her traditions, which is very different from my tradition. Because in Italy, the father of the bride pays for everything.
Yeah.
So not only I'm not getting money, I have to pay, which is awful.
That's South Africa. You gotta pay.
But she's worth it, so it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm glad so. And the other side is Shaka.
Yes.
That's a strong Zulu name.
Yes.
So, yeah.
We wanted to have a strong Italian name, Leonardo, and a strong Zulu name.
Yeah.
Shaka.
And how's he doing?
Oh, he's
2 years old. Right?
Yes, almost 2 years old. He was born on Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And is just the best thing ever.
Yeah,
I've never been happier in my life.
I can imagine, man. And now, I saw you on Instagram. It's like a farewell thing that you.
Yes.
Have you left Bali or?
Well, the plan is to do a little world tour.
Yeah.
So after South Africa, I'm gonna go to do a couple of festivals in Australia. Then I'm gonna spend 3-4 months in Europe, and then I'm gonna come back to Indonesia.
Oh, wow, nice.
Indonesia is my market.
Yeah.
I work on national TV in Indonesia, but now it's under election, and when there's election, everything stops. So it's like, this is the right time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So basically, I'm forcing everyone like, yo, you gotta vote.
And also, I'm a foreigner, so I cannot really do jokes about the politicians, otherwise I'll get deported.
Yeah. And you've traveled a lot, you've been around.
Yes.
And in terms of comedy, do you feel like certain countries have like certain restrictions, like you can't say this?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, for example, Indonesia actually has a law that if they feel disrespected, they can just deport any foreigner without any questions.
I've seen that happens a lot with the Russians. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know why.
There's actually a statistic in 2021.
Yeah.
Out of 200 people in Bali that were deported, 195 were Russians. Yeah, they're crazy. My ex-wife is Russian.
And I tell you something about that. I gotta say thank you for sticking with bricks.
I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna use that. That is nice.
You can have it. And I gotta tell you, in terms of comedy now, it's a bit risky. In terms of, it was like sensitive, in terms of like what you say. Do you still feel like, as a comedian, you still have the freedom to say want to say?
I think it's never about being offensive. I think it's about not being funny enough. Because I've seen people saying very offensive jokes, but they were very funny and people didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
If you say an offensive joke, it has to be at least as funny as it is offensive.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, Indonesia is a Muslim country, we all know that Muslims are pretty sensitive.
Yeah.
I did Muslim jokes on TV, everyone laughs, there was no problem. I talk about, of course, having an interracial relationship, having a mixed race kid, that because that is part of my daily life.
Yeah.
And those are, you know, as a white guy, those are topics that can be a little bit sensitive.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm confident enough that they're going to be funny enough that people won't get offended.
Yeah.
The problem though is that as a comedian, you always want to be close to that line, never cross that line.
How do you
but it's
know that
personal,
you're crossing the
because
line?
for me the line is here, for you might be here, for her might be here. So you have to work with the audience, and that's why you shouldn't start with an offensive joke.
Yeah.
You should start with mild jokes, and then you see how the audience reacts.
And I gotta ask you, which I didn't think was possible, you actually taught comedy.
Oh yes.
Because that's the thing, it's like, is comedy a calling, or can it be taught as a skill?
This is what I actually teach. My first lesson, one of the questions I ask my students is, can you learn how to be funny? And this is the thing. To me, comedy is very comparable to, for example, a sport.
Yeah.
Let's say you are more naturally gifted in rugby than I am.
Yeah.
But if I train rugby every single day, and you just go and play once every month, not today, not tomorrow, but I'm going to kick your ass. Now there are the outliers, like Dave Chappelle at 15, he was already the funniest guy in the room, and there are people that are never going to be funny.
Yeah.
But that's also very different. Being funny with your friends and being funny on stage have nothing to do with each other. And that's what I love. I love very confident people that say, I don't need to learn, I just put me on stage. I put them on stage, super confident, and they pop.
Yeah. And I gotta ask you in terms of being on stage, right? You come from a family of lawyers.
Unfortunately,
right?
yes.
Unfortunately. Don't you think it's the same thing that you're doing now? In terms of public speaking? You're kind of
And
fighting for the crowd in terms of like swaying the decision?
There's definitely similarities, and I used to be a public speaker before I was a comedian.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if you know Toastmasters. It's the biggest public speaking organization in the world.
Oh, yeah?
It has around 30,000 clubs all over the world. I'm sure in South Africa there's many. I was the president of a few clubs.
Oh, wow.
But I think that the closest profession to the comedian, it's not the lawyer, it's not even the public speaker, is the street magician. Because you deceive the audience. You're showing something with the right hand because you're doing something with the left hand. And it's the same with the jokes. You're leading the audience to think something, and then you use a shock value and you completely change. The difference...
So, like the trick is kind of like a punchline.
Exactly. You have to be one step ahead of the audience. And that's why also comedy and public speaking is so different. It's the rate between risk and reward. Because when you do public speaking, people listen to you or pretend they're listening to you. At the end, they give you a heartfelt or just a sympathy applause. And that's, in comedy, nobody gives you favors. If you're not funny, they're not going to laugh. And it's even worse. You can land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jokes in a row, and then the 6th cricket. And when you land, it's the best. And when you don't land, you just want to jump off.
It's kind of like a drug, don't you?
Oh, every comedian is absolutely addicted.
Yeah, and let me ask, in terms of COVID, you know, you had like lockdown and stuff, we couldn't perform. Like how
I could perform. I started my club during COVID.
Oh yeah?
Bali was different, man. We had a lockdown of maybe 2 weeks.
Oh yeah?
The only thing that they did, which makes no sense, is that they closed the beaches, which is the place where you have the most social distance.
Same happened here.
Every week during COVID, I was doing shows with 300 plus people.
Oh wow.
During COVID, Bali was the best place ever.
We were on lockdown. Like you couldn't go out.
And the weirdest thing I heard that alcohol and cigarettes became illegal.
Alcohol was bad. You couldn't even get like fresh food because it could have been contaminated. Basically.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you couldn't get fresh food. Everything had to be.
You know what used to happen in Bali? So Bali is different from Indonesia. It's its own ecosystem, and it's the land of influencers. Like in Bali, they don't ask you what's your name, they ask you how many followers you have.
Oh yeah?
It's crazy,
Oh, wow.
it's insane. And what happened in Bali is that if they will catch you without the mask, the punishment would be that the police would ask you to make 10 push-ups. But because everyone is a TikToker, there was actually a line because they wanted to be caught by the police so they could do the TikTok.
Wow. That's incredible. And in terms of being in South Africa, what's the most surprising thing you've experienced so far?
It's not really any surprise. Like I'm actually a very boring person.
Yeah. How about no shitting?
No shitting is insane. It makes no sense.
I can imagine your first experience just chilling and like boom.
Well, no, but my fiance told me about it, and I just couldn't get it at the beginning. I was like, what are you talking about? But this is the thing, like if I'm not out performing, I'm just stay home with my wife and kid. I don't really do nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, load shedding makes no sense. And no, but the cool thing is that I was here in Cape Town for the rugby final. That was insane.
Yeah. You can see today we were still celebrating.
Yeah.
Everyone was like out partying.
The last time I celebrated that match was a long time ago in 2006 when Italy won the football World Cup.
Tell me when you've traveled a lot, and I'm just curious, whenever you try Italian food like pizza and pasta, you're like pissed off and you're like, what is this? This is not pasta.
But it's actually easy to find the imposters, because every time they would actually make spelling errors in the menu. They would write margherita wrong or spaghetti wrong, so you immediately know this guy is not Italian.
I wouldn't even know. Right?
But Italians is like COVID. We're everywhere, you know. It's like everywhere you find Italian restaurants and Italian people.
Yeah, it's like one of the biggest.
Because living Italian sucks. That's why we moved to other countries. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you. There's this thing about who is the Mount Rushmore of comedy for you. Who's the top four?
Well, it depends. It depends what you mean by Mount Rushmore. Do you mean the funniest, or you mean the comedian that had the biggest impact? Because comedian with the big, for example, Kevin Hart, he transcended comedy. There are some comedians that transcend, but now is less funny than it used to be.
That's true.
And it's not because of it. It happens with all the great comedians. They come to a level where it's just their life is so disattached to reality that they cannot really make jokes.
Do you worry about that?
I hope I get to that point. So, or for example, Steve Martin. Yeah. Steve Martin has to stop doing stand-up comedy because he could only do stand-up in stadiums, and he couldn't even perform because people were just screaming his name like a rock star.
That's the same thing. Eddie Murphy is like
exactly.
That.
So I would put Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Seinfeld, which has been constantly the most highest paid comedian for every. I think just now.
Best observational comedy.
I think just now Kevin Hart surpassed him as value, and also Rogan, but Rogan is with the podcast. It's not really with the comedy, even though his new comedy club and everyone says it's insane. But my personal favorite, so I'm gonna put three legendary comedians. My personal favorite is Louis C.K. I love Louis C.K.
Is it canceled? What's the situation right now?
No, well, it's uncancelled.
It's uncancelled. I love Louis C.K. Yeah, because it was like a tricky thing.
If you want, we can also talk about, because even the way they canceled them was weird.
No, because it was a weird experience. Like, does that count? I don't know.
No, but also because he was asking the people. Like, he was asking, can I masturbate in front of you? The girl would say yes.
But also was on the phone with you.
Exactly. There's actually a joke from Chappelle, which is another goat, which was like, bitch, you can hang up, you know? It's like, it was on the phone.
Yeah. I was like, if someone says that to me, like, no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We did. Like, we had a phone conversation. I asked you, can I masturbate? And you said no.
Yeah. Yeah. So in terms of being in South Africa, how long are you here for?
Oh, I'm staying until at least until January.
Oh yeah. And I see you hitting like every.
Yeah, I'm performing almost every day. Yeah. Maybe in December I'm gonna hit Joburg and Pretoria. But this is my goal. I actually talked to my fiance because we love South Africa, and unfortunately. I don't know if I want to get into that, but...
You don't know if you want to stay, right? Don't worry, I don't know.
There's kind of a bad rap. But the problem is because in Bali, and besides my fiance, everyone else is just white South African.
Yeah.
And they all just told me, oh, don't go there. I'm like, shut the fuck up. But
honestly, like whenever I went to like America or whatever, like another part of the world, I used to tell South Africa is the best place in the world.
it is. And
I
also in
don't go that way
America, like people say South Africa is dangerous. What about America?
No, you take a wrong turn.
But that's everywhere. Even in Italy, there's
Yeah.
some cities where there's the neighborhood you don't want to go.
Oh yeah?
Of course.
Is like mafia?
Of course.
The ghetto?
Yeah. There is especially in Naples. There's a certain street that where if you wear a full helmet, they're gonna shoot you because they think you're an assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like we don't play.
There's gangsters everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Gangsters
But
everywhere.
this is the thing. My goal would be to every single year do 4 months in Indonesia, where I can shoot a couple TV shows, 4 months in South Africa, and then 4 months traveling, doing.
Traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's the goal. So hopefully you'll see much more of me.
Yeah, I've been checking you out on social media and like YouTube, like you're making moves, and this is how many years now in terms of comedy?
Oh, that's the thing. I'm a newbie.
Yeah, that's what. How many
It's
years?
3 years.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like your level of confidence. But same thing happened with Trevor Noah. When Trevor Noah said I'm doing a special, everyone was like, "Who's this guy doing a special?"
And this is my
What does he know?
and
He's
this
obviously doing
is my fourth special. In 3 years, I released 4 special.
Man, I'm excited for you.
Thank you so much, and yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Any last words? Out there?
No, come to my shows. Like I know nobody in South Africa knows me yet, but I promise you, if you come to my show, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, and check him out. Social media too. Chris Giacobbe.
Thanks.
Thanks. Appreciate it, man.